Namaste, welcome, good morning everyone. Thank you very much for being here in this practice with me, sharing today. Find your seat if you're still wiggling and trying to rest and settle. Invite your hands to come to your thighs and make sure you have good stability in your thigh bones, in your pelvis. And close your eyes gently, bringing them towards your center. Even though we are possibly still aware of noises, sounds, or things happening outside, try to turn your attention towards your inner navigation system. And we gradually bring ourselves to the soft breathing cycles that are happening in this moment in your body, allowing for the diaphragm to move down towards your pelvis as you inhale, perhaps feeling that sensation, and then letting it return to its neutral place as you exhale. We've been trying this week to practice breathing into the chest, then down into the abdomen, and from the abdomen back up into the chest and out. And in some of my classes, I invited this visual of having two sets of lungs instead of only one in the chest and one in the abdomen. And perhaps you can feel yourself breathing into the chest lungs, then down into the belly lungs, and then from the belly lungs, releasing, receding into the chest and out. And this different pattern of breathing is helping us create a new habit. Invite opening in the body, in the sides, the lumbars, the back plane of the body. And perhaps slowly develop some change towards feeling better. Today I want to share 4 concepts, 4 qualities really, that are shared usually in meditation, in our yoga practice. They come from the Buddhist tradition, and they have to do with finding a more direct relationship with ourselves. And with that, developing more loving kindness. These 4 qualities that we try to cultivate to create this direct relationship with ourselves are: number 1, steadfastness. When we practice yoga or meditation, we are strengthening our ability to be steadfast with ourselves in body as well as in mind. You can think of these qualities as being practiced in many different realms of life, okay? That's why I'm sharing them today. Steadfastness. Number 2, clear seeing. Clear seeing is another way of saying that we have less self-deception. Through the process of practicing the technique day in and day out, year after year, we begin to be very honest with ourselves. Clear seeing. Number 3, experiencing our emotional distress. We practice dropping whatever story we are telling ourselves and leaning into the emotions and the fear. We stay with the emotion, we experience it, and leave it as it is without proliferating. Thus, we train in opening the fearful heart to the restlessness of our own energy. We learn to abide with the experience of our emotional distress. So this one is experiencing our emotional distress, being with the emotions and the fear. Last one, attention to the present moment. We make the choice moment by moment to be fully here. Attending to our present moment, mind and body, is a way of being tender towards self, towards others, and towards the world. This quality of attention is inherent in our ability to love. Attention to the present moment. These 4 factors not only apply to sitting meditation or yoga, but are essential to all the practices moving towards the awakened heart. And they help us in relating with difficult situations in our daily lives. By cultivating them, we can start to train and discover for ourselves what it is to be in this place of the awakened heart with less confusion and more loving kindness. So perhaps today, through your practice, any of these 4 qualities is catching your eye, let's say, and you want to maybe use it as part of your intention. I'm going to repeat them. Steadfastness, clear seeing, experiencing our emotional distress, and attention to the present moment. Let's bring our palms together. Let the thumbs rest in front of the heart. And visualize your intention for today, your purpose, rooted in the opportunity to get closer to your essence, to develop a relationship of clarity with yourself, to carve the practice of love towards ourselves and to others. If you choose to join me, we'll open with the Om sound, inhaling deeply through the nose, big exhale, and breathing in again. We connect head, hands, and heart like we usually do as we enter the practice for a moment. Then releasing the palms, lifting the head, opening the eyes. Welcome everyone, welcome newcomers to this practice. I'm Karina, let's go to the mat. If you have a blanket, I don't know if you can see, but I already put a blanket folded there so I can sit on, and we'll start in that way, okay? So I'm going to come into my blanket first, putting my sitting bones at the very end of my folded blanket. So I have a little bit of an elevation there. I'm going to extend my legs, and I'm going to bring my hands right behind me. I'm creating an external rotation in my arms, so you can see how my shoulders are moving back. I'm pushing through my fingertips, and once I have that and I'm elongating my spine, I'm going to press through my heels and start activating my legs. This is just a sit. We call it Dandasana, the staff pose. But what we want to do here is to have a sit that it's not our usual, that it's rounded or perhaps kind of like pounded, right? So what we want to do is to create a rooting action through the sitting bones, and from there lift, 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 make space in your trunk, send the shoulder blades down, and lengthen and lift through the back of your skull. Imagine the back of your skull being really light and floating up, and press your thigh bones down, center of the heels moving away from your body. Good, and then try and lift through the sternum a little bit more. Breathe in through the nose, cleansing breath here, washing down your body. And you can use the image of the 2 sets of lungs today if you want. So you make sure that you are expanding through the chest and also through the abdomen. and accessing a little bit more in our bodies. Good, then from there we're going to release the hands. I'm going to cross the right shin in front of the left one. I'm going to put my feet underneath my knees as much as I can. And from here we're going to put the right hand to the side. Inhale, opening the left side first. Then exhale, come back. We go side to side a few times, just starting to say hello to the sides of our bodies. Just fluid with the breath, go side to side a few times. Try to keep your sitting bones grounded so we start opening a little bit more through the side body. One more each side. Good, and then we come back to center. Finish your cycle, okay? Inhaling, we'll take the arms up overhead. And with the exhale, I'm going to lengthen my abdomen over my legs and rest my hands in front. If you need blocks, pillows, blankets, anything in front of you to put your forehead or your hands, please do. We are going to try and breathe here for 3 cycles. Through the nose and exhaling also through the nose. Releasing the air. Feel perhaps a little bit of that sensation of the lower back muscles or the glutes maybe stretching a little bit. That's what we want. We are creating a little bit of opening there. Good, and then we are going to walk our hands closer to our legs, and I'm going to hook my elbows into my shins. If that is not possible, you may perhaps want to bring blocks in front of you and you can put your forearms on top of it, okay? So that can be an option. I'm hooking my elbows in front of my shins, I'm pushing my shins in, and I'm doing like when we do the cat-cow. We are going to inhale, lift the chest, send the shoulders back. I'm not going to do the cat, I'm staying in this one, lifting, lifting, lifting. It's almost like a back bend here. Good, and then I'm going to keep that length through the heart up, and I'm going to walk myself over to the right for you guys. I'm lifting my belly, lifting the chest, and then sending them over to the right and releasing the torso here. Breathing in and out, trying to ground through the left sitting bone to feel that opening in the left side, left flank of your trunk. Then I'm walking back to center, and I keep going all the way over to the right, sorry, the left. And then again, I'm going to lift the abdomen and twist my chest over to the left and release the trunk there. Give yourself the opportunity to notice differences between one side and the other. It's very normal that you may feel more contracted or gripped in one side and the other. So breathe into the side that you need to breathe and create more freedom. We go back towards the center. Again, I'm going to hook my elbows into my shins or the block. Inhale, lift through the center of the chest, shoulder blades down. Good, and then I'm going to walk myself back up, bring my hands behind, re-extend the legs, shake them a little, push through the heels. Again, same idea as before, Dandasana. We extend, we ground the thigh bones, we lift through the sternum, we lengthen the sides of the trunk, and imagine the front of your armpits, like the front line, lifting up towards your ears, but the back plane of your armpits or the back side going down, okay? Good, push through the heels, inhale, that cleansing breath throughout the body. Good, and then from here we'll cross the opposite shin. Now we are going to put the left shin on top. Again, I'm going to try and put my feet under my knees. Good, let's go one last time. Inhaling, arms up overhead. This time, before I go over, lace the fingers, press your palms up towards the skies. Good, make your head be in between your arms, so don't let the head collapse forward, okay? Chin is off the chest, and imagine again the back of your skull floating up, floating up, floating up. Beautiful. Release that interlace. Good job. And then from here, I'm going to walk. I keep lengthening the front of my body. My belly is coming over the legs, and then I'm folding over. Take 3 breaths here. Good, beautiful. Let the head relax. Good, then we slowly return. Again, one more time, we're going to hook those elbows, lift through the spine, that back bend sensation, lower back moves into your body. Draw the sternum up. Good, and now we are going to start again moving to the side. So 2 times, we go first over to the right, sorry, the left, left side for you guys. And we lift the navel, we lift the chest, we bring it over to the left, and we release. Good, then we slowly walk back over to the right side. Walk yourself as far as you can go, your limit for today. Lift the front of your spine, send the fibers of your belly over to the right, and then release there. As we create new habits in our physical body, we are developing more steadfastness. We have the opportunity to sit with what arises, developing that relationship with ourselves. We return to center, we walk back up, and this time when you are sitting tall, you're going to send your arms to the sides, interlock your fingers behind the lower back, roll the shoulders, extend through the arms behind you, and again, send those shoulder blades down, back of the skull floating up, chin off the chest. Stay here for a couple of breaths and try to soften the skin in the face. Shavasana jaws, tongue, lips soft, and ears heavy. One more breath. Good, and then release the arms, extend through the legs, shake them a little. Good, let's move out of that seat. We finish this business, we start a new one. We put the blanket to the side, and we're going to come into our hands and knees position, okay? Good, from here, just tucking my t-shirt because I'm going up. Good, we're going to put our hands with the fingertips pinned a little bit out towards the sides. I'm moving my knees a few inches behind my hips as we regularly do. We take the feet a little wider towards the edges of the mat as I'm pressing into the base of my toes. Try to spread the toes as much as they will go for today, and then start pushing the mat away. Send the chest towards your thighs, send the sitting bones up towards the skies. Relax the head, make your neck long, so let it drop, and push the mat away and feel that stretch in the sides, the armpits. The arm bones are really straight. Good, and then pedal your feet a few times. We usually start the same way, so we start opening the backs of the legs. We feel the chest opening and coming towards the thighs. And whenever you feel like it's appropriate for you to start becoming more still in this down dog, press both heels evenly down to earth. Lift your inner arches, try to spread the toes, and let the contents of your brain drop to earth. Good. One of the very important qualities that I shared today, staying present. With your breath, you can always return to the present moment. Good, then from there, we're going to walk the feet a little closer to one another, and we'll slowly come towards plank pose, starting to activate the whole body a little more, push through the heels, lengthen through the crown of the head, draw the belly button forward to your heart. Let's go back to down dog. Again, slowly bring yourself into the plank pose, pushing the heels back, lifting the inner thighs, crown of the head moves forward, back to downward facing dog. One more, inhaling towards plank. And then from here today, we'll take the knees first, then the chest and the chin, sliding into the mat, fingertips right off your mat, roll the shoulders, extend through the tops of the feet. Inhale, lift, lift, lift. Stay there for a moment. Sacrum in, activate your glutes. Bring your chin to the right, then to center, chin to the left, back to center, release, hands under the shoulders, tuck your toes. Let's go back up, downward facing dog. Good. Now from here, we are going to open the feet again wider than what they were now. So a little wider than your hips and the toes pointing out a little. We are going to walk ourselves back into a squat. And in this squat, I'm going to extend my arms forward and I'm going to try and be a little bit more like a tabletop facing with my torso onto the floor. So instead of being all the way down, I'm a little bit more elevated and I'm trying to lengthen my hips away from my chest and my arms away from my hips. Take a deep breath. Good, then touch down. Bring your feet to be parallel. We still keep them a little wider than the hips. Draw the lower belly up and release the trunk over the legs. If you need to bend the knees, bend the knees. If you are okay by pressing through the center of the heels and straightening the inner legs, do so. You can hold opposite elbows, release the head there in Uttanasana. And if you want, you can shift a little bit the hips from side to side. Good, ground and root through your feet. Then release the hands, walk the feet just a little closer to one another so they are hip distance apart. Good, we are going to root through the heels, bring the arms up, rising until the palms touch. Exhaling to center, coming to Tadasana. Beautiful, here from standing in Tadasana, we are going to take a block. Ha, I almost forgot, but I didn't. Take a block and bring it right in between your thighs. I'm taking it all the way up to my pelvis and I put it sideways, okay? So I have the long side in between my thighs. I'm going to press into that. If your feet are able to come together, they do. If not, no. Good. Press the inner thighs into the block. Send your sacrum into the block so that lower back is moving towards the block that you have underneath. Firm the hips in. Let's inhale, arms up overhead. Hook your thumbs, extend through the sides. Keep hugging that block. Glutes are active, sacrum long. And we inhale, we get a little taller. We exhale, we tilt to the right. Feel that opening in the left side as you send the chest up to the ceiling. Can you ground through the center of the heels without losing the power of the inner arches lifting? Then we come back to center, hook opposite thumbs, extend again, squeeze those glutes. Let's go over to the left. Good, we come back up. Exhale, release. Keep that block. We'll go one more time. Sacrum long, hug the hips in, lift that block towards your pelvis and push it back a little, like if you want to spin it towards the wall you have behind you. Inhaling, arms up overhead, hook your thumbs, extend, extend, extend. When you're ready, go over to your right. Push through the center of the heels, lift and open that left side. Come back up, switch the hook, extend again, last side, pressing through the center of the heels, opening up to the last side, second one. Feel that opening. We get back to center, Exhale, release, beautiful. Take that block out, put it on the side. We come back to standing. So why did I do that block idea? Because I want you to redo it without the block in the next posture that we are going to take. So we want to use the Tadasana foundation to take the rest of the postures that we do. This one in particular, because it's very similar. I'm going to press into for you guys, the right foot. I'm going to lift that inner arch and I'm going to imagine that I'm pressing that block still. Hands to my hips. I'll give you modifications right after, okay? Pressing into my right foot. I'm going to lift my left knee up. Firm the hips into one another like you were holding that block in between the thighs. Catch the knee and lift it up towards your chest. Good. The power on your right leg is coming from the inner arch, lifting, lifting, lifting into your groin, and from that right hip firming into the center of your pelvis. Now we are going to try and practice keeping the knee wherever it is or wherever we can hold it and bring the arms to cactus. Lengthen through the spine, firm the hips in. Beautiful. Now I'm going to catch that left foot and put it inside the right thigh for the tree pose. And this can be done with the wall as a support. You can touch or hold the wall, dresser, mantle, anything, okay? Good. Now hands to the center, or you can keep them on your hips. And what's happening here, the same actions that I did with my block. So firm the hips into the center of your body so that foot that it's touching your thigh stays firm. Lengthen your sacrum towards the imaginary block like you had before. And lift the navel towards your nose. One more breath. Option, if you want to play with more balance, to send your arms up. Nice. Then slowly release the arms. Bring your left knee back. Release and shake it a little. Yay. Good. We did Virkshasana tree pose. Now, I didn't show it, but I will tell you again, you can use a wall, you can bring yourself into a wall and have that support behind you to do the posture. You can hold with any side, okay? Anything that you have around, it's all cool. Let's go on to the second side, and I'm going to tell you in advance that I may not stay too long in the second side because I have a small injury in one foot, okay? So, opposite foot now, for you guys, the left one, I'm going to press into the center of that heel. I'm going to tone that leg. I'm going to start with my hands onto my hips. And when I feel ready and stable onto that left leg, I'm going to lift the knee, opposite knee. Good. And stay there first for a moment, firming the hips. Catch your knee, bring it in towards the chest. Draw the belly button up to the chest and the shoulders back and down. Beautiful. Then let's play with holding that knee as far as we can, as up as we can. Good. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Catch that foot. Bring it into your tree pose. And wherever it is that you land that foot, it can be all the way up to the inner thigh, close to the pelvis. It can be on your knee. It can be further down. It can be touching the sticky mat with your toes, okay? Good. Once you get into that one, oops. Good. Then we apply again the principles that we applied before. Firm the hips in, send the sacrum down, draw the navel up, hands to hips or towards the center of your chest. I'm letting my foot rest because it's not good. It has some stuff going on there. Good. So stay there, keep the hands in front, roll the shoulders back, shoulder blades down, lengthen the sacrum into your imaginary block, so it's moving down. And if you want to play with more balance, send those arms up. You don't have to, okay? This will challenge balance a little. Take a deep breath. Then slowly release the arms. Bring that knee back to center, release and shake it a little. Good, good. Beautiful. Let's come back towards the top of the mat. And from here, we're going to flow just a bit. Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhaling, we fold over, Uttanasana. Inhaling, halfway, lift the navel to the nose. Exhale, walk back, downward facing dog. Push the sitting bones up and back. Find that stretch again. Inhale, right leg goes up and back. Bring your right foot forward. Left knee comes down. Inhale, arms up. Lace the fingers, extend through the index fingers up. Firm the hips again, same actions as before. Press into the front foot. Lengthen the sides. One more breath. Then release through the hands. We are going to play here a little bit by extending both legs, pushing back and coming forward. I'm touching down again with my back knee. Extend, pushing the back heel and come back. One more. Good. I'm going back to the lift, and from there I'm going to bend the front knee, stay in this lunge and inhale, lengthen the front spine, firm the hips in. Let's come up, high lunge. One inhalation here to lengthen, squeeze the inner thighs into one another, like if you're holding that block that we did before. Open both arms to the right side, twist. Send the right hip back, lift the belly and the chest over to the right. Good, back up we go. Inhale, exhale, plank pose. One inhalation in plank. Lower slowly. We come to the floor. Good, inhaling cobra. Exhale. Tuck your toes. Up we go, down dog. And we'll take the second side. Inhaling, left leg up. Left foot comes forward, right knee goes down. We come up. Squeeze the hips into one another. Inhale, arms up overhead, lace fingers, index pointing up, lengthen through the sides, firm the hips, sacrum long. Good, open up the chest a little further. Good, release, put your hands down 3 times. We lift, we push back, we come back. We push back, we come back. One more. Good, now I'm going to re-extend that back leg, firm the hips into one another, lengthen the front of the spine. If you're ready, when you are, we come up, high lunge. Lift through the front of the spine, firm the hips like you have that block, like a broken record, that will help you for balance. And then I'm going to send both my arms out, twisting towards the left. Push through the back heel, send the left hip back, lift the belly up to the chest. Back up we go, inhale, exhale, plank pose. One inhalation in plank, lower, cobra pose. Exhale, tuck your toes. Up we go to down dog. Stay there, breathing a few times. One more breath. Good, bend the knees, gaze forward, walk, step or hop to the top of your mat. Good, hands to shins. Let's inhale, lengthen, shoulders back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart and release. Good. Okay, from here, I'm going to take on a posture that will require some props. So it's less flowy and more alignment, okay? For this, we are going to do two versions or two phases of the posture. For phase number 1, I'm going to need 2 blocks. And for phase number 2, I'm going to add a belt. And my belt is already in a loop. And you're going to make that loop if you want, so you have it prepared. It's going to be hip distance apart, okay? Like I'm showing, today I have pink, so you can see. Good. So hip distance apart, or even a little wider, just a touch wider than the hips. Good. Once you have that one, you're going to just put it on your side because it's phase number 2 of the practice, okay? Good. Once you have that, you're going to put both your blocks in front of your mat, and I have them tall because I really like the tall version, so I can expand and open my chest a little more. I'm going to bring, once you're ready, right foot in front, left foot behind, and I'm going to stand like when I'm going to do a warrior 1. So that back foot is turned in with the toes pointing up, okay? Good. So make sure that you can get to the blocks when you come down, which is what we are going to do. So I'm putting them to frame my front foot. And I have the distance in between my legs that gives me the chance to feel stable without falling to the sides, okay? So if you need to widen the feet, press firmly into your heels, bring your hands to your hips first, and send the left hip forward. And you send that left hip forward as far as it goes for today. For some of us, it will feel more like you're sideways. It's okay. You go as far as you can. If you feel like you're super blocked there and you cannot bring that hip, then you move that left foot a little wider out to the side so you get more space to turn that hip, okay? Good. So one of the parts of this shape is that we are opening those hips. I'm going to imagine again that I have that block in between my legs. And I'm going to squeeze that imaginary block, send my tailbone down, lengthen through the front spine, and then I'm going to bring both my arms up. Good. Inhale, lengthen there, and try to keep sending the right hip back and the left one forward. We are going to keep that action. Lengthen the torso forward as much as you can. Keep sending the right hip back. So you readjust that right outer hip moving back and then bring the hands to the blocks. Beautiful. Lengthen from here, extend through the front of the spine. Keep sending that right hip back. 2 options here. For some of us, this feels like it's enough. So listen to your body, be present, and stay in this place. If you can keep the length in the front of the spine and the squeeze into the inner legs, then maybe you want to add the torso moving over the front leg, okay? Your choice. If this feels like you're rounding a lot in your upper back, then come a little higher and keep working on opening the heart, the chest, sending the shoulder blades to be firm behind your heart, okay? Good, a couple more breaths. Good, then I'm going to come halfway. If you were not in the halfway already, send the right hip back again, put your hands on your hips, press through your heels and come up. Practice stability, beautiful. Let's bring the left foot forward, shake it a little, and we are going to switch sides. Right foot goes back, left foot stays forward, okay? Second side, now with my hands, I'm going to frame my hips and bring them towards the front of my mat. So now I'm trying to bring my right hip forward, my left one back. Press into the center of your heels, lengthen and lift through the front, and activate your glutes to support your lumbars, okay? Let's go. Inhaling, arms up. Lengthen, lengthen, lengthen. Keep sending the heart forward. Move forward with the trunk. When you get halfway, left hip goes back again. Bring the hands down to the blocks. Good. Keep pressing into the center of the heels. Left hip tries to reach the back of your room. Lengthen through the heart center. Maybe you stay in this one. It's almost like a little bit of a back bend here. or you add the fold. If you want to add the fold and you're okay lengthening the trunk and coming over, but you need to bend the front knee because that hamstring feels tight, then bend your front knee. Good, stay there for a few breaths. Good, let's practice steadfastness in body and mind. Clear seeing as a way to have less self-deception. Experiencing our emotions and let them be as they are. Stay present. Good, let's press into the heels, bring the hands to the hips, push through your feet so you can come up, extend, lift the chest. Beautiful, you're back to standing, hopefully, and then bring that back foot forward and shake it a little. Nice. Okay, phase number 2 of this. This is the fun part that I love. Now I'm going to use only one block, but I will also need my belt. Okay, the block is going to be on my left side, and I'm going to use the belt. The right foot will come forward. Now, for basics, so you understand it. The shape will look exactly like what we just did. So I'm going to have the right leg in front, the back one is the left, and it's turned in with the heel and out with the toes like we just did. The difference is that I'm going to use that loop, and I'm going to put my right leg inside all the way until that loop is all the way up to my hip. I'm coming closer in case you cannot see it. So I put my right leg in, good, and I have that belt. Okay, now I'm set up in my shape, and I'm going to hold that belt with my left hand, so I'm pulling it over to the left, and I have it as high up as I can, okay? This is a fun part. Good, now with my right arm, I'm going to go behind, and I'm going to go and catch my belt all the way next to my left hip. This looks like this. I'm gonna show you. You see how my right hand went all the way and I'm catching my belt. If you need to make that belt a little wider, please do, okay? Good, I'm going back to my shape. This looks fun. Okay, so from here, that right shoulder is opening a little more. I'm broadening that area in my chest and bringing that right shoulder blade a little further into my heart, right? That's what we want to do. Once you're there, press into your heels, send that right hip back, inhale, lift arm up, get tall, 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 sacrum long, lengthen the trunk again, as far as you can go, send that right hip back again, and then bring that left hand into your block. Same idea, but with some props and help and fun. Okay, right hip back, lengthen the heart forward, press into your heels. Option to stay here or to add, squeezing belly and chest over to the right, and I'm adding an extra twist. Good. This is called a revolve triangle with some help. So I'm holding my belt with my right hand. I'm lifting the chest up towards the skies. Make that belt as wide as you need it. Don't collapse into your left shoulder. Push the block away and send that left shoulder back. Up, up, up to the ceiling we go. Send the right hip back, right hip back, right hip back. Heart up to the ceiling, heart up to the ceiling. Good, then to get out of this, good luck. No, I'm joking. Let's bring the trunk again to face your legs. From there, you're going to release your right hand, push into your heels, bring your hands to your hips, and come up. Yay! Let's bring that left foot in front, get out of that belt, shake it a little. Nice. Second side. I'm going to switch so you can see me on this side, but we are doing the exact same thing. Now I'm going to have my block on the right side. I'm going to take my belt again, and this time I'm going to put my left leg in front, okay? Good, left leg in front and inside the belt. I'm putting that foot in front of the mat, then the right leg goes back. I'm in the same shape as we did before. I'm going to hold that belt as high up as I can. Nice, we got it. Left arm behind, coming all the way over until I catch my belt on the right side. Just in case, but it looks like this again. Good, I'm holding there. Super. From here, I'm going to try and level my hips as much as I can. Lift through the navel up to the nose. Inhale the right arm up. Push through the heels. Send that left hip back. Ignite that right leg. Make it strong. Lengthen, 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 lengthen. Heart forward. Left hip back. Bring your right hand to the block. Draw the navel up to the heart and the heart away from the belly button. Keep sending that left hip back. Stay there for a breath. This may be enough for today. So notice how that feels. If you need to micro bend the front knee, do so. If you are okay, toning those inner legs both into your bones, stay there. Good, let's add the second or last part. I'm going to start bringing the belly and the chest over to the left. Now the left hip will want to stop working. So send it back, send it back, send it back. Lift through the chest. Don't collapse on your right shoulder. Push the block away so you can lift and make more space. One more breath here. Good, then I'm returning, torso facing down. Release the left hand. Press into your heels. Use the power of your legs. Hands to hips. Push back up. Yay. Right leg comes forward. Get out of that belt and shake it a little. Nice. Let's move this situation out. And we go back to the top of the mat. Awesome. Good. That was a really strong twist that is very helpful to rinse the organs and to create a lot of activity inside to release. Okay? Inhaling, arms up overhead. Exhaling, we fold. Inhaling halfway. Exhale to downward facing dog. Inhaling to plank. Exhale, come down. Cobra pose. Release. Back to down dog, last one. Good, knees down, child's pose. If child's pose on your knees is not appropriate today or the knees are not feeling okay for this shape, go on your back, hug your knees into your chest, okay? Good. We take a few cycles, breathing here, returning to our breath. And with the opportunity to check in. Getting more steady in our minds through this practice, allowing ourselves to practice honesty, clear seeing. Being okay with holding the emotions, what we are feeling in this moment. And mainly attention to the present moment. To be fully here. Being tender towards yourself. To carve the ability to practice love. Good, then we'll slowly sit up. If you can, you'll bring your knees towards one another. You can always put a block in between your heels. If you can sit on your heels for a moment, stay there. Good, right hand to the right side. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, left hand to right thigh or knee. Just a moment here, one breath. Inhale And exhale, come over to the right. Back to center. Bring the left hand behind you. Inhale, right arm. Exhale, go to the left. One breath. Back to center. Good. And then bring your legs in front. Shake them a little. We'll take that seat that we took before again. Sitting tall, hands behind you. Roll the shoulders. Push through the heels. And lift through the heart. Cleansing breath. Good. One more. And then we release. Good. From here, we are going to take our belts for one more thing that we are doing, alignment style, and then we'll move to the end of the practice. So what I'm going to do here is to come onto my back. I'm going to bring my knees to my chest. The same loop that I had, I'm going to use it, and I'm going to put it on my feet, okay? And I'm just bringing my feet towards me and my knees towards me, okay? That's it for now. Then what I'm going to do from here is to let both my knees drop over to the right. And I don't know if you can see, but I'm trying to keep my knees high towards my face. And then because I have the belt, I can play with my loop, so I can hold the loop and extend my legs out. And of course, I'm using the belt to help me hold my feet, and I'm going to push my feet into the belt. This is also a deep twist. If your lower back is sensitive or you have these things going on, then this one may be too strong. So you want to just stay with your knees to the sides like a regular twist, okay? If you feel pulling in the lower back in not a good way, that should be a flag for you to change it, okay? I'm pushing through the heels. I'm extending my left arm out to the side and trying to keep my belly and my chest moving over to the left. Soften the face. Good, then slowly bring both knees back to the center. Just if you need to shift your hips over to the right, do so. I don't have the space to go all the way, but bring the knees into the chest, and with your belt, you take your knees over to the left side. And then from there, if you have the space and you want to add that extra, a little deeper twist, push your heels, your feet into the belt, extend the legs. As you saw in the first time that I showed, the legs are in a diagonal, right? So they are coming up towards your hand. Stay there for a few breaths. Now the belly and the chest, they are moving from the left to the right, even though your legs are over on the left side. A couple of breaths here. Soften the back of your skull into earth. Good, and then slowly bring it back. Hug the knees to the chest, take your belt out to the side, and rock a little bit from side to side. Good, last posture. Either you go to a wall, if you have the wall, when you're done with that rocking motion, to put the legs up, or the block like we tend to do many times. If you don't have a wall close by or a place that you can support the legs, put the block under the pelvis, right at the very end of your spine, not in your lower back. And then from there, move shoulders away from the ears, bring the knees and the legs up, okay? If this one doesn't feel like it's the thing for you in this moment, use a wall or just keep your feet down and you are still creating opening through the chest. If you're using a wall, It's also a good opportunity to practice that opening through the collarbones, right? So even though you have the support of the wall or the dresser for the legs, you want to move those shoulder blades or tuck them in a little and create that opening, maybe opening the arms to a cactus or goalpost shape for this moment, okay? Good. For the ones with legs supported by some kind of furniture or wall, you can stay there for the remainder of the practice, Shavasana, and I'll tell you when we are done. If you have your legs up without any support, I'm going to move towards Shavasana, and then you'll choose whenever you're ready to bend the knees and put the feet down, take the block out and come down, okay? So you have a more restorative or a rested end. And in moving towards Shavasana, we start our way back to the source. Stillness, silence, the opportunity to surrender and restore. And the chance to let all of the benefits and gifts of this practice now sink into our being. This practice takes us just as we are, with our confusion and our sanity. The complete acceptance of ourselves as we are is simple, and it's a direct relationship with our beings. And in that relationship with our beings, we develop steadfastness, honesty, clear seeing, experiencing and sitting and holding our emotions, and paying attention to the present moment. Moment by moment, to be fully here. Receive a deep inhalation through the nose, a big exhale through the mouth. Take a moment to return to your body by wiggling fingers, perhaps moving your toes. Keep your face soft as we tend to do usually, your eyes kind. And as you feel ready, roll over to one side Take a breath on the side and use your hands, forearms, whatever you need to press up to a seat, unless you're choosing to end in the supine posture, which is absolutely fine. Let's end this journey together in gratitude by bringing our palms together, connecting to the heart, and taking a moment to reflect upon the opportunity that this practice gives us to take time and tend to ourselves. In gratitude for the chance to connect to our breath, to move, to create space and bring awareness, we bow into our hearts. Namaste.